Alright guys, what we have here is a Rheem unit. It's a RKKL package unit. It's a gas pack. Every time it turns on, it makes a loud sound. So what we're gonna do, or what I already did, I disconnected all the thermostat wires, so we can, jump the unit to turn on the fan, turn on the cool and the heat. See if we hear anything that's not normal. At the same time, we're gonna be checking out the thermal image, the infrared image, and so you guys see how it looks like. All right. So like I said, I disconnected the wires, so I'm just gonna grab the jumpers. Just be careful because it does have high voltage in here, so be careful the bottom doesn't. So what I do is I hit the R, and then we're gonna test the fan first, and there it is. Fan's running. So it has a B55 belt. I usually put an extra belt in there just in case. And so that's not making any sound. Sounds good. The whistling sound you hear is the air coming through here, through the tight spot, through the filter bank. So now we're gonna test the cooling. One thing to remember, guys, is that this is hot. So this has 24 volts. So because you will mess up the transformer. It has a small breaker on top. So here we go. So I'll make sure it's nice and snug too, because if you just clip it and you move away, sometimes these things tend to, because it's so tense, it'll pop back out, and it could hit the metal, and there goes the transformer again too. So be careful when you do that. So now we got cooling on, contactors are in, so it's not making any sound. The panel off. We got this FLIR thermal imager. Look at the top of the compressor, about 145 degrees. Follow the line. Hopefully you guys can see. Follow that line. And the vapor refrigerant goes into that coil, and then the process of removing the heat starts. By the time it goes into the unit through there, it's all liquid, and it hits your metering device. That's how hot your compressor gets. And then you follow the vapor into the coil. Another thing you can notice is that transformer gets pretty hot. And while you're here, you can check the contactors, make sure they're not too hot. Make sure there's no loose wires, etc. Look at that transformer, is pretty hot. Go to the board. There's a resistor that gets pretty warm right there. So I already took the jumper off the cooling mode. To test the cooling, and you can hear the fan running, and that'll run for any determined time, whatever the board wants it to, and it does the same thing for heating. Once you remove the jumpers or the heating mode is off, the fan will continue to run. So yep, this is a purchase switch, circuit 1. Pretty much if it trips on a low pressure, you can reset it. But before you reset, you gotta kind of want to find out what happened, right? You just don't reset things and walk away and kind of think that that's all you have to do. Again, be careful with high voltage, guys. This is a 208, and see the fan just turned off right now. We're gonna test the heating now. So I set the jumper for heating mode, and exactly what I told you guys not to do. That's what happened to me. That this guy right here jumped off, and luckily it landed on top of the wires. So be careful. Make sure that you set it the right way. And now the inducer is running. It's purging the exchangers inside the exchangers. And you're gonna hear the spark, and then the gas valve turn on. There's a spark. And there's the gas. It's gonna be a minute, and then the fan is gonna turn back on as it goes up to temperature. And we're gonna check the temperature on the stack right now, so you guys can see what the temperature is. It goes up to 200. So here we go. There's a stack. And also, if you're standing right next to this thing, you guys stay away from the fumes. You'll pretty much feel the heat, and you're start to kind of smell the fumes. So try to stay away from it. You don't want to pass out here. I mean, there's right in the open. So, but fan turned on. Stack is at 160. So what we're also going to do is we're going to check the temperature difference between this sensor on top of the stack versus the temperature of the infrared sensor. Alright, so here's our stack temperature with the infrared scanner. So we're on 175. The actual sensor says is 200, 225. So there's a difference. I think the warmest I got it was to the hottest I recorded here was around 190. So you always want to break out your actual sensors, your temperature sensors, versus this. This won't give you the actual temperature of the fluid or the air or the water. It just gives you the surface temperature. So see, this says 180, 200, there it is. But the actual sensor is 237. So one thing to look out for. And let me remove my sensor before it melts. Alright guys, well there you have it. These are turned off. The indoor fan blower is still on. Remember to remove the thermostat when you're jumping these things, because you don't want someone downstairs to turn on the AC while you're testing on the heat, and then it might ruin the thermostat or your board. So make sure you remove them and kind of let your tenants know that you're going to be troubleshooting not to touch the thermostat. So we tested the heating and cooling. I didn't want to put gauges on it. That's the last thing I want to do, unless I suspect that there's a refrigerant issue, refrigerant charge, or I see a leak or something. But that's not the case, and I didn't hear any booming sound or anything that was out of the ordinary. So that's it. Thank you for watching.